So BIM 360 design is a place where you can actually have multiple design trades working in the same environment and sharing information in a controlled manner, as opposed to the way that the old collaboration for Revit BIM 360 team would share information, which was in a free, open, shared environment. So once we have design collaboration initiated inside of BIM 360, we actually need to create our different design teams. In this example, I'll create a civil design team uh, to bring them into our environment. Using the radio button, we're actually able to navigate through the different components. So I'm going to tie into my document management. And in document management, what I've gone ahead and actually created a folder for my civil team. Here we can actually add our permissions. And as you can see, we have our civil engineer team tied in here. If I wanted to add another role that would be in here, let's say a safety manager, or we could use a BIM manager role, and give them different permission settings. The permission settings, if you have any questions on, can be highlighted over this information button. So we'll give our BIM manager a view, upload, and edit ability. So that it means anybody with that ability or that user role will be able to have access to this folder. So roles, companies, individual names, or emails is how you can assign permissions. My suggestion, roles and companies, largest umbrella grabs the most amount of people. So once the folder is created and we have our permissions set, come into our design collaboration under a project admin, and I'm going to go ahead and add a team. The reason why I created the folder first is because I don't want to have to re-enter information twice. So by selecting this, I can add the team, and it will auto-populate the team name for me. You can see here we have our civil team. If I wanted to change colors, I can change the colors here as well. We could also edit the team name if needed. I also have the ability, if they're in a Revit environment, to schedule the publishing of the models. We can schedule these by weeklies, set the day and the time so that we can make sure that all the information is pushed at the same time. Now that we have our design team sorted, let's say the civil team actually has their surfaces, their civil models inside of Revit. We can come into Revit and then initiate collaboration using this collaborate button. Then we're able to initiate to this BIM 360 document management and select the project and location where we want to store this model. The other thing I want to make note of is that this publish settings is really important. Anything that is selected inside of this publish settings will actually be part of the set that publishes to BIM 360. If it's not selected, it will not push. Once you are designing inside of BIM 360 utilizing Revit as the authoring portion, you're able to have two things now. You have an ability to synchronize with Central, and synchronizing with Central just means you're actually just pushing the changes that you've made to the cloud and pulling any information back. The same thing goes for the managing of cloud models. Here we can select a project in question and see all the models that are actually included in here. So I can see that all of my models have been sent to the latest and greatest. If I wanted to look at any of the versions, I have that ability right here. So I can see all the changes that have been happening since my first version. Now, to link a model into your Revit model from BIM 360, for instance, let's remove these because I want to take my mechanical model from BIM 360. So I'm going to add a link, brings you right to the location where all my models are. I'm going to come to my mechanical. Let's grab this mechanical model. And as you can see in our saved path, this is BIM 360, the project, and then the model itself. It is very important that these models are all residing in BIM 360. Now, if I remove one of these links or delete a file out of BIM 360, all it's going to do is break this link. It will not delete my architectural model from the architect's perspective. Once that's completed, I can go ahead and synchronize with Central. It's also very important that you place notes in so that people know what has actually changed in these models. So you can see that I'm saving to Central. It's uploading all the information, that linked model, so that I'll be able to see that up in the cloud. Now let's come back into BIM 360 design collaboration because we want to talk about creating packages and sharing of information. Now I had added a published model earlier today, so let's actually, and as we're looking at this from the innovative architect side, let's take a look at this new package. Packages give you the ability to share information to your different teams. As you can see, there's different types of circles here for your nodes in your timeline. A full node is from the looking at this from the innovative architect side, from mechanical engineers. This is a package that was published, reviewed, and consumed. This is a package that has not been reviewed but has been shared. And these packages have not been shared out to the larger audience. When I click into something that's got a 2 on it, I can see that there was a package shared on the 8th, and then I have another package here. So I'm just going to select on this. We're going to edit this package, and I'm going to select the information I want to bring into it. We can say, let's say it's the update 16. I'm going to save this package. I'm going to save the fact that I selected all this information. So you can see all the sheets that are part of it, and I'm going to share this out. So now we have the different packages shared out. Now from the architect's perspective, I see that the mechanical team has shared out a package. Well, how do we actually visualize these changes and see the differences in? So if I come back to something that was a little earlier, we can actually come in here and say show the changes. What this does is this compares to the previous version of what model information has changed in there. So as your design evolves, you'll start seeing more and more changes inside of that model itself. Now, coming back out and spreading this timeline out further, I want to take a look at this mechanical engineer's change. I can come in here and actually show any changes that has happened. So it looks like we've modified. Let's take a look at the modifications of a specific object, and it actually can start giving you some of that metadata. So it's not going to just show you the changes between the physical geometry, it's going to show you the changes between the metadata as well. So I'm going to consume this package right into my model. Now, consumption is really important because it's a duplication of information. So if I look at my Innovative Architects folder, I'm going to be able to come into my consumed model, my Mechanical Engineers model, and take a look at this mechanical model that was just updated just moments ago. This is really important. I'm also pulling in the plumbing model. Now I have the duplication of that design model where I cannot change what the mechanical is doing from the architect's perspective, but I can have all of their latest and greatest changes. I also have the ability to not consume these changes if I do not need any of their new information. So if I look at this from a mechanical side, I can see that I have multiple packages from the architect that I have not consumed. So I can take a look at this. I can see all the information. And if I want to explore this model, I have every right to. I have the ability to come in here and take a look at it. If we wanted to look into an actual floor plan, I can look into a floor plan. And if I wanted to do any consumption, I can review the changes. If I don't, I just let it be. So in recap, models are pushed from Revit. Inside of BIM 360 Design, you start by creating your folder structure, assigning the permissions based upon your team roles and responsibilities for inside the permissions. Inside of the project administrative side, you add your teams, select the file folders, and then you're able to auto-populate your team names. Inside of design collaboration, you want to create packages when publishes are provided so that they can be shared out to the greater team in a controlled and unified manner.